Before she was a lawyer and now space CEO, Bridget Mendler was your typical teen sensation, actress, and singer. Man, there really isn't anything she can't do, is there? And while she's best known for her roles in Good Luck Charlie and Wizards of Waverly Place, both great Disney Channel shows, I remember her from Lemonade Mouth as the shy girl who learned to open up and blossom into a confident singer thanks to the relationships she gained with her bandmates. If you've never seen or even heard of Lemonade Mouth, which is more ironic than you yet know, well, it's basically the hybrid of The Breakfast Club and High School Musical and a little West Side Story. Kinda. Like Teen Beach Movie and Camp Rock, Lemonade Mouth was another Disney Channel original film, which was trying to capitalize on the wake of High School Musical's shockingly huge success. And while all these films are great in their own unique ways and fit this niche genre nicely, Lemonade Mouth was always the one that I came back to as a kid. It's not that its voice was the loudest or that it simply had the best songs or story, but something about it broke through the noise. Something about it resonated with me on a deeper level. And it took me 14 years, half my life, to figure out why. As I mentioned before, this movie infuses elements of The Breakfast Club into its High School Musical meets West Side Story film. We have a ragtag group of teenagers, all with their own musical gifts, who wouldn't ordinarily intermix, but are forced to when they all get detention for various reasons, which directly relate to their individual character arcs and parental troubles. And it's their shared musical talents which initiate their friendships, and their issues at home which help their bonds grow and strengthen over time. We have Stella, the loudmouth rebel with a song in her heart who is quick to voice her concerns, especially when it comes to freedom of expression, which only makes more sense when you see how invisible she is back at home. Mo serves as the Maria of this story in a sense, a gifted student who is pulled not just between her new friend group and her boyfriend Scott, who stars in the rival band Mudslide Crushed, but also between her extracurriculars and her father, who is highly stringent on her academics and her social life. Charlie is the forgotten son, overshadowed by his big brother, who supposedly leads a perfect life, the same life his parents want Charlie to follow. But Charlie wants to cut his own path, away from soccer and towards the drums. He also has a slight crush on Mo, adding to that push and pull theme within the film, but it's not a huge focus of the story. And then we have Wen and Olivia, the introverted duo. Wen is a laid-back keyboardist/rapper, and Olivia is a very shy singer who suffers from stage fright and is prone to anxiety attacks. You know, the perfect combo for any lead singer. And they certainly relate to one another on the parental front as well, with their moms not being in the picture and their fathers being the parent whom they struggle with in this film. Wen lives with his father, who is seeing a girl my age, and despite her putting in her best efforts, Wen is not happy about it. And Olivia lives with her grandmother, seeing as her mom has passed away and her father is currently in prison. And that's our group. They all end up in detention for one trumped up reason or another, with Stella, the more rambunctious and rebellious one, being the vocal frontman for the band and their cause in the beginning. At first, they are simply bonding over their run-ins with Principal Brennigan, their love for Mel's lemonade, and their shared musical talents, but over time that evolves to bonding over their shared relationships and their values. The most crucial one being the topic of their first jam session and the central theme of the movie: using music to voice your position and take a stance. No matter where you are in your life, we can all rally behind a voice. That's one of the most basic human instincts. Celebrities, politicians, YouTubers. We all have someone who publicly speaks for us because they get us and we trust them to use their platform correctly in voicing our opinions and concerns. And Lemonade Mouth becomes that for almost the entire school, seeing as the students are pressed beneath Principal Brennigan's and Mudslide Crush's thumbs. You see, Brennigan intends to bury the music program, relegating their facilities to the basement and elevating the sports programs who bring in sponsorships and funding. And Mudslide Crush, being soccer players themselves by day, are given the spotlight to bask in. And that's where the first real conflict begins, when they are forced to share that spotlight with Lemonade Mouth, who have just begun pursuing their path towards becoming the next rising star, a musical competition for school funding, and the voice of the student body.
Let me think. I need to think. You.
Yeah, just go.
Olivia, you have a beautiful voice. You are meant to play together. It's destiny. Oh, come on. You don't have a moment like that and then just ignore it. People, they need to hear you. Shoot, that'll show Brannigan. Oh, that's it. Rising star. Rising star.
Rising what? Rising Star. It's a talent competition. Winner gets a record deal.
You can show everyone around here that sports isn't the only thing that matters. So,
why bother, right? Because you said it yourself. You deserve to be heard.
We get a lot of character development right off the bat, leading up to their first performance at the Halloween Bash, as this is a high-stakes, high-reward situation. While Stella is quick to pursue this route so that her voice can be heard and she can receive the attention she lacks at home, people like Olivia are forced to grapple with the spotlight, something they've intentionally avoided their entire life despite their talents. However, it is still important. For the 5 of them, who all struggle with being heard at home and in school, music is their productive outlet. Music is their voice. And Miss Resnick, the music teacher, is right when she says that they deserve to be heard, not just because they are musically gifted, but because their message is for everybody, unlike Mudslide Crushed. Very quickly, this movie is setting up its main message. You will never get an answer to a question you don't ask. You will never get a reward unless you put yourself out there and run the risk of losing and/or getting hurt. You will never get a yes until you start going for no. And so with Brannigan and Mudslide Crushed on their tails, Lemonade Mouth understands that they must pursue music. They must become the voice for the voiceless. It's time to break through those determinate barriers which have been boxing them in all their lives. Their headliner-worthy performance, the one which truly wins over the people and announces their intentions, starts with their breakout song, Determinate, which is based on a word that I don't think Gwen fully understands.
And determinate, every determine, like it would keep going.
It would determinate?
Yeah, it's like, get determined. Like, put on your game face. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is so not what determinate means.
Determinate is an adjective meaning having exact and discernible limits or form, not get determined. However, you gotta give Wen props, he's got gusto and he is fully determined to destroy those determinate barriers which lie before them, and behind them. In essence, this staple showpiece is their announcement to the world and to us viewers that there is no going back from this point on. They are going for no. They are bringing out all the stops to show their full identity, and they will be heard. Now, they do take it a step far thanks to Stella pushing them and turning the show into what Brannigan calls a political tirade, leading to him banning them from ever playing on school property again. This is what we call in the film industry a classic uh-oh.
A high school dance is no place for a political tirade. Yeah. Lemonade Mouth is finished.
And while this sucks in the short term, very short term, it becomes highly apparent that they've succeeded in becoming the voice of the people and are even asked to play at a local pizza shop because the demand is there. I mean, people are even buying their unofficial CDs, live recordings from Halloween Bash that some AV kid made and who is more than happy to split the profits with Wen and his bandmates.
AV Club gets 30% and you take the rest. Deal.
Heck, Determinate even makes it onto the local radio, putting them on the map and thrusting them towards success. Simply put, things quickly pick up for the band, and their future has never looked brighter, and the group has never been closer. Their identity isn't just solidifying, it's evolving into a welcoming brand, and people can't get enough of it. Including Mo, who is working through her breakup with her unsupportive ex-boyfriend, cause let's be honest, she gets enough of that at home.
She's so good.
However, unfortunately, just as the day is darkest before dawn, it can also be brightest before dusk. Things quickly fall apart for our group thanks to the many hurdles and obstacles pushing back against them. Mo contracts the flu, Charlie breaks his fingers, Wen gets a black eye, and Olivia loses her voice during an argument with Wen over their shared paternal struggles.
Wait, where are you going? Hey, we have to talk about tomorrow.
What's to talk about? Okay, we can't play, so we're out.
What, so you just want to give up?
You just be happy that you're off the hook and that you don't have to go on stage anymore.
No. When this isn't about Lemonade Mouth, this is about you not appreciating what you have. You have a family! Your dad, your sister, Sydney! I don't even remember my mom. I haven't talked to my dad in years, and you have the nerve to feel sorry for yourself?
Stella's really the only one still kicking, and so she decides now is the perfect time to cause some more mayhem and disrupt Brennigan's plans. She draws them all to the school to help her protest his removal of Mel's lemonade machine, a persisting issue since the Halloween bash. And wouldn't you know it, fighting some movers who are just trying to do their jobs is kinda illegal, and so they get tossed into jail. But I mean, hey, they're experienced with this. They did meet in detention after all.
Believe it or not, jail. You shout like that, they put you in jail. Right away. No trial, no nothing.
And ironically, this low point for the band is actually where they rally together once again and fully commit to Rising Star, which they have been debating due to some having second thoughts.
Come on, turn up the music. Are we in?
Now, they do get sprung from jail pretty quickly and are forced to face their parents, but it's a really sweet sequence of scenes that uses the band's hardships as preparation for their individual ones. By this point, they've learned that speaking up and letting your voice be heard is a great habit to build, as it not only creates bigger and better habits, but also it instills the confidence needed for our characters to face their hardships at home head on. Mo confronts her father and they come to a healthy compromise. Wen apologizes to his future stepmom and accepts her into his life and family. Olivia's grandma is just happy to see Olivia has put herself out there and made friends, having come such a long way from the shy girl she once was. Charlie's brother picks him up and breaks the news that he's doing horribly in school and offers to confess alongside Charlie to their parents like the good brother that he is. And Stella finally hears the words she's always longed to hear.
Do you know what I see when I look at you, Stella? I see the most determined, focused girl I've ever known.
Yeah, actually, Mrs. Yamada, it's pronounced determinated, but it's fine. Go ahead, keep going.
I mean, look at what you've done. You started a band. You stood up for what you believed in. I couldn't be any prouder of what I see.
Our gang is reunited, re-energized, and reconciling relationships with their parents. All signs are go. They are finally ready for Rising Star, ready to prove who they are, and ready to take down Mudslide Crushed and their lead singer Ray, who has opposed them at every step of the way. Man, don't you just love to hate him? Throughout the film, we have been told countless times to and we've seen what type of personal gains one can achieve when they do just that, when they simply go for it and pursue their dreams. But what happens when you lose your voice, or run into a roadblock that strips it from you? Life has a knack for knocking us down, but there's another side to this coin that the film's finale puts on full display at the Rising Star competition. Remember, our team had hit rock bottom just ahead of being tossed into the clinker, and it's not like they've been magically healed.
Please, you can do this.
However, by this point, their voice and their message, which they've been touting since their public announcement, has reached everyone willing to listen. Everyone knows who they are because they put themselves out there and ran the risk which they've now come across. But the response to their movement is something extraordinary. They became the voice for the voiceless and, as it turns out, instilled confidence not just within their group, but in all of their fans. Heck, they even stole Scott from the dark side and changed him into a better person. He found his voice, one separate from the tyrannical Ray. Their followers backed them at their lowest point and became their voice in turn, which just goes to show you what can happen when you simply go for it. Try, and even if you fail, you might just be lifted up by those around you with loving support, if you've earned it, that is. And we see that here, with Lemonade Mouth winning big in the end. I guess Ray wasn't as B.I.G. as he thought, huh?
Don't you wish you were us? Don't you wish you were us?
No, we don't.
And so, as the film closes, we get the band's newest hit song, a new announcement for their continually evolving identity for their new era. And with it, the film leaves us with its final reminder for its main message, as I will also reiterate for you now. If there's something you want to do, even if you're on the fence about it, if it's something you've seen yourself doing in the future, or believe it's who you are to your very core, or you're just interested by it and you want to learn more, don't wait. Go for it. Go for no. Because even when we fail, miraculous things can and do happen. We just need to give fate a chance, the smallest of windows, to fill in that failure or missed opportunity with something we never knew was even possible in the first place. I know it's hard, but sometimes you just gotta go for it and break through the barriers we perceive in front of us, because some of them might just be false creations of our own paranoid minds. So take a breath with me, take that step forward, and break through the noise.
Breakthrough.
It's raising your voice, sometimes it's making some noise, sometimes it's proving to the world it was wrong.
I really love the way this film tackles confidence issues, and that's probably a huge reason I really resonated with it as a young teen, seeing as I struggled and continue to struggle with self-esteem myself. Olivia really blossoms into her own throughout the course of this film. It's revealed at the end that her entire narration of the film's events and the band's journey was her writing a letter for her dad, as she's finally found the ability to forgive him and share her life with him, which is just super sweet. But even more minor characters like Charlie get their due acknowledgement as well. Charlie is constantly attracting all the female fans, but oblivious to that fact, and so considering Mo eventually rejects him during the band's fallout, he is able to move past it and by the film's end, see his value and just what he's been missing out on when he was blinding himself with tunnel vision. I know the film is very simple compared to the likes of its counterparts in the genre, but it's also highly effective at what it does, and it gives a really insightful message wrapped up in a bunch of mini, interlocking storylines. I always knew it was encouraging its young viewers to speak up and use your voice, but I had never realized the very insightful message hiding beneath its surface in Go for No. I think there's a beauty to that line of thinking, and one that could be dangerously addictive for people who want to make real change in our world. Sometimes the only true barrier getting in your way is yourself. So push through the noise, break through those determinate barriers you might perceive, and just go for no. I promise you, you will be shocked at what might be coming your way, even when you think you failed. I hope you all enjoyed the video. This is lighter content than what I usually make, but the mantra of go for no has been stuck in my mind the past 2 years, ever since someone first spoke it to me. And I've been waiting for the right movie to come along so that I can talk about it, but what do you know, it was right in front of me the whole time. I guess that's life. But if you are a fan of wholesome video essays such as this, or you're a huge fan of animation such as Bob's Burgers, Rick and Morty, Gravity Falls, Avatar, The Last Airbender, or you're just into the sci-fi, fantasy, and maybe horror genres like I am, well then consider subscribing, as that is what I talk about here. Rick and Morty Season 8 is premiering May 25th, and I do plan on continuing my weekly reviews and deep dives for that season. I tried it out for the first time with Season 7, and I really enjoyed it, and I think most of y'all did as well. But if you missed it, feel free to check out my Season 7 content and see if you're interested. But that aside, I do have a couple more video essays in the works for you guys this year, including one that's been racking around in my brain for years. So if any of that sounds like it's up your alley, then please consider subscribing, and don't forget to drop a like on this video, as that really helps the channel out. But as for now, that's it from me. Thank you all so much for tuning in and sticking around. I will see you all next time.